Good morning, lovelies. It's me, Lisa, and I'm getting ready to go to church today. So I started doing my face, and I was like, let me stop and let's show you what I kind of do on a Sunday. I just put a little curl in the end of my hair. I actually probably wear it up like this. I'm not a great hair person, but first things I did was I moisturized my skin after I did a quick wash, and then I moisturized my under eyes and my actual skin, and then I went in with the Garnier 5-Second Miracle Blur. This one's okay, we'll talk about that later, but I wanted to show you what I used. So I used that, and then I used my Makeup Forever HD foundation, and this is in shade N115, which I believe is like really fair. And then for my under eyes, I used my Garnier Skin Renew Medium Deep because it's more of a salmon shade. Topped it with my Age Rewind by Maybeline in Light, which it's rubbing all off. I've had it that long. Then I primed my eyes with my Lorac Behind the Seams Eye Primer. And then I set it with my Secret Brightening Powder, my Laura Mercier. And then, of course, after I primed my eyes, I used my Sigma Creamy Base in Persuade, which is still my all-time favorite. No one's beaten it yet, so we're gonna go with that. So what I wanted to do is just do some of the stuff that I like to do when I'm kind of not really thinking about what I'm gonna do with my makeup for that day, where I just kind of go, okay, I'm just gonna get up and go and not think about it. So one of the go-to smaller palettes when I don't want to think is my Naked Basics palette. I only use a couple of shades out of here. Let me just show you the colors without blinding you. And I'm just going to kind of go through and show you what I do quickly. Trying to make this not too long, but I also want to talk through it. I also forgot my eyebrow products. I try to set everything out so that it wouldn't be a super long video, and then everyone could kind of see some of the stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyes, and I am going to pull out my E60 large shader brush from Sigma Beauty, and then I'm going to start with this color Walk of Shame here. And I'm gonna put this all over my eyelid, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just press it in just to kind of give myself some light, because of course, like most weekends, we've all probably stayed up too late the night before. And honestly, I'm not trying to go too dramatic today. Drama for church I don't think is necessarily in this setting. It's just a normal Sunday service, so I don't want to go too crazy. So again, that was the E60, which I will use probably 4 or 5 more times. Now what I want to do is I want to go in with the Naked 2 shade here, which is a lighter brown, and I'm going to use my E25 blending brush, and then I'm just going to put this in the crease to add a transition shade, and then I'm going to deepen it with 1 more shade. So it's actually probably just only going to be 3 shades today. I might even highlight with Walk of Shame. Sometimes I highlight with that Venus shade. I don't like Foxy because it's a little too yellow for me, but it is a nice shade on other skin tones. I just don't like it for me. I feel like it pulls too much yellow. Now the biggest thing with this is just blending in a windshield wiper motion. You don't want it to look too unblended, and this doesn't really take long. So if you're looking to just get out the door but you don't want to look unpolished, you want to look like you actually did something, you could actually probably get away with just the transition shade, and then the lid shade, and then a little eyeliner and mascara, and you could go no problem. I've done that several times, except what I'll do is I'll make a bigger crease color. I'll kind of come above my crease a lot more, and it gives me that little pop at the top. Now then what I want to do is I want to take that shade Faint, which is the darker brown, because I want to deepen up my, oops, sorry, Faint is that way, that one, with my Makeup Geek Outer V brush, which I just purchased some new Makeup Geek brushes. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about them, and this is the first one I purchased, and I really love it. So I actually bought a couple others that should be coming next week to try, and I'll let you guys know. I also bought a small starter palette of their shade or shadows just to see that as well. I didn't purchase lipsticks because I've heard great and bad reviews, so I'm not really sure on that, but I did hear great on the eyeshadow, so we'll see. So what I'm going to do with this outer V brush is I'm just going to kind of deepen the outer V here and up, just to give me a little definition to the eye. Like I said, I don't want to go dramatic, but I also don't want to look like I haven't tried it all today. And I'm gonna do that on both eyes. And then I'm gonna take that blending brush, that E25, and then I'm gonna kind of soften this. I like this to get the detail and to place the color right where I want it. And then I blend it in a little more. This, to me, works really well to just place these colors directly in that outer V. And then, like I said, and you see what I mean, it's specifically placed. And then I can just take this and kind of soften those edges. But then it gives me that definition to my outer V that I want without getting sloppy. Which there's a couple tricks to how to keep yourself neat, which we will go over later. That's not something I'm doing today. I mean, you can always clean up after, so if you ever feel like you've just made this mistake and oh my goodness, I just messed up the whole look, just clean it up. You can use some concealer, you can use a makeup wipe, depending on what you've done to the rest of your face. You can use a makeup wipe and just touch up that edge. And you want to come just from this outer corner out is normally where that eyeshadow would be placed. Try to keep it there. I mean, of course you can make more definite cuts. Makeup is fun, so don't limit yourself, because trust me, I don't. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it with this CoverGirl LiquilineBlast, and this is, I was looking for the shade. It's a brown shade. Sorry, it doesn't say specifically the name. So I'm going to do is just put a little on the upper lash line just to help thicken it, and then I'm going to smudge it out a little bit with a pencil brush. And all I'm doing here is putting as close as possible to my lash line. And again, I'm not trying to be perfect because I know I'm going to take a pencil brush and just kind of smudge it. And this is just to give me some volume at the lash line, because my lashes are not very thick. And I also wear contacts, and I don't always like to do my waterline because it runs out, and I still haven't found a great product, and I'm working on that. So this is the Sigma E30. Like I said, it's a pencil brush, and I'm just like right where I just did that, I'm just gonna go out and blend it, just because I don't want a harsh line. I want it just to look soft there, because this look is meant to be just soft, look like it didn't take much effort, but also look like I did do something. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and do my lashes, my brows. And today I'm just going to use my Gimme Brow from Benefit in the light to medium shade. And just lightly go over where my blonde hair makes my brows look non-existent. So of course that means I am a natural blonde, just not this shade. Laugh, 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 right? And I'm actually looking at changing the shade, so we will see in the next probably 2 weeks what I come up with. Now I'm going to take my small pencil from Anastasia. This is the Perfect Brow Pencil in medium brown, and just kind of fill in those areas where my hair is sparse and just kind of make it look a little more natural as far as hair, and not as crazy. I just have a couple areas in the front where the hair doesn't grow back that I like to fill in softly. Just small light-handed strokes, so it looks more like a hairline. In the front you want it to be a little more light. However, naturally my brows are the same color cohesively, meaning the same color across, except for the couple of the patches of like blonde hair, and I actually have a white hair on each that's been there since I was a child. I'm just going to comb through just so where I did that with a pencil, I try to make it look a little more, like I said, natural. I don't want it to look like a harsh pencil line. Also, when you do this, if you got a little too heavy-handed, this will lighten that up. So you can use that as another way, instead of just totally starting fresh, to lighten that pencil up. Now I'm going to use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel just to kind of set these. I don't use too much because I find this to be thick, but I do find that when I do use this, my brows ain't going nowhere. I mean, they stick in place. And I don't have like per se crazy brows where my hair is just, you know, wonky and all over the place, but I do have where there's a couple that will just come out of place. So I like to just set them and then keep them in, especially since my eyes are basically done. I don't want to go, like I said, too crazy and unbalance things and then have that wonky hair sticking out. So I'm going to go with the CoverGirl again underneath the lash line, the lower lash line, excuse me. And I'm just kind of going lightly because I am going to smoke it out with another color. And I'm just kind of doing it about the center. So about 2/3, if you see, because I don't do too much down there. I'm just going to take that pencil brush again, and then I'm going to take that shade Faint, and then I'm just going to put just a tad just on the tip. Now, this brush works well for this. However, there's other brushes that I use sometimes to smoke out with a little more precision. It really depends what I'm looking for with my look. You could also use that lighter color, that Naked 2 shade, to go ahead and smoke this out as well. Today I wanted to just do something a little more since there's not much going on top, so I wanted to kind of go and play something different. So I'm going to take my E45, which is a small tapered blending brush from Sigma, and then I'm going to take that Venus shade. Let me go that way, sorry. And I'm just gonna highlight my brow, and then I'll put a little bit towards the center of the eye. Now again, I'm just being very light-handed, and I'm not trying to make it too defined, but I also want it to have a little bit of a lift there. And then the reason why I say this tear duct here is because I do need a little bit of brightening within that inner eye, because I naturally have some darkness there due to genetics, not due to not sleeping. I've tried everything, and so that works for me. Like I said, I just put a little bit right here on that pat because I have the dark there, and then I put just a little bit here on the tear duct area. Now with the tear duct, you can put a little on the pencil brush, and you can bring it and have it meet that line from your eyeliner. That will help brighten those eyes a lot more. Another trick, which I'm not gonna do today, definitely is using the Rimmel Scandal Eyes. And this is in the shade Nude. And you can run this on your waterline itself lower, and that will make your eyes definitely more bright. So if you're having one of those nights where you didn't sleep and you just look very tired, I would suggest just running that there. And I take that with me to touch up, because like I said, my eyes do water, so I definitely need a touch up. Since I did that light liner, I'm going to go ahead and do my lashes, and then I'm going to do the rest of my face. So I am going to use this Voluminous Million Lashes, and this is from, I want to say this is L'Oreal, and of course it doesn't stay. So okay, here you go, nice gold tube. Packaging is rather large. The brush is decent. I haven't used this one yet, as you can tell, so I'm just going to go ahead and start and see what I can do. I heard this one is really good, but I don't have very volumized lashes. I'm not really digging this brush. Those plastic bristles, if I can talk this morning, are touching my waterline, and I can feel them. So I can tell you right now, this is probably not a product I'm going to enjoy. Now they are grabbing my lashes, and I feel like they're combing them out. I'm just not sure if they'll be able to build volume without hurting my eyelashes. And I'm not curling my lashes. I'm not, day to day, that's not something I do, just because it doesn't really impact my small lashes right now. I am looking at buying some Latisse to help my lash, just my top lashes. My fear with that is I've heard people who have their eyes discolored, and that's kind of why I've shied away from it. With my fair blue pale eyes, I am not really sure if I want to risk making my eyes brown or gray. So now I'm just doing the bottom lash line with my Clinque. Go get yourself dressed, and I'm on video, so go ahead. You gotta get yourself ready for church, because we gotta go take Shelby to her house to, I'm gonna have to edit this out. We have to take Shelby to her house to get her clothes, so go get dressed, please. All right? Thank you. All right, so the bottom lash line is done. Sorry, that was my daughter. Top lashes are now one coat. So while I'm letting that dry a little, I'm gonna go ahead and warm up the face. Now I'm trying 2 new products, well actually 3, for the rest of my face. So I'm gonna try that Healthy Skin Blends from Neutrogena that I showed in that drugstore haul. I haven't used it yet. This is the first time I'm opening it. The only thing I did, I think, is I took that, you know, that little seal they put on it. So we'll even see. Ooh. Now the brush just slid right out. That was great. I'm going to use my large powder brush, and this is an F30 by Sigma Beauty. And I'm not really going to contour today. I'm just going to bronze it up, and I'm going to swirl this in. And it's kind of looking a little more pink, so we'll see what comes out on my face. Like I said, I'm just trying to warm up the face, not really contour. I'm not looking for a harsh contour today. I mean, especially with the hair, the way it's gonna probably, like I said, it's probably gonna stay like this. I just want something up here so it looks more sun-kissed. And I will put some right here under my chin in the back. Now that is because you want a shadow back there, and it will help slim up the appearance of a double chin. Mine's not huge or anything, but it still is there, and I don't necessarily want it there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this Lancome blush that I got. Now this was a free gift with something I purchased from Macy's, and this is the Blushing Tresor color. Yeah, not my French is not very good. And it's this pink. Now I'm gonna be very light-handed because I have natural pink undertones, and I'm just gonna put it right here on the apple mostly, and then just kind of blend it back into where we just put that bronzer and kind of blend the two together. Now these colors both are very complementary to each other, but I also don't want this, you know, a line or anything. So that's why I said kind of just feather it back and make sure the two blend into each other. Also, I'm going to put another coat on the top lashes. Then I'm going to use a slight highlight today. I'm not going to go crazy. This is Lightscape by MAC. This is a mineralized skin finish. And it's just a pearlescent type of shade. I've used this all over my skin, but I've also used it as a highlight. And again, it's just a subtle highlight. And I'm going to use my tapered highlight, F35. And just put a little bit and just go toward the top. Again, I'm not trying to go too highlighted. And like, I don't even highlight my nose a lot of times from day to day. It really depends. Now this one is so soft. I've used this as an all over wash when like I've set my makeup when I was super dry, because I wanted to have that luminous look. You can definitely do that if you're fair complected like me. If you're a darker skin tone, I wouldn't suggest that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try one more coat on the top lashes because I let it dry enough. I'm just trying, the reason I'm letting it dry is I'm trying to build some volume, but I also don't want to look like I have spider eyelashes, which some people enjoy that look. Because my lashes are so little, that just doesn't come off right with me. And here's the thing, if you ever get a clump when it's dry, you can definitely get a spoolie, and you can get those at Sally Beauty, just the clean packages, and you can run it through. You can also use a spoolie to set your brows too. Just tricks, and they're cheap. You can buy like 100 for like $5-6. So now we're gonna do the lips, and I'm not gonna do too much with it today. Well, that's not true. All right, so I'm gonna use this Milani Easy Liner for lips, the Most Natural, which is supposed to be like a Your Lips But Better type shade, and I'm just gonna line it. Again, this is not something I always line with, but I'm trying a new color, so I wanted to try something different. And I'm just gonna do I'm just going to outline, and that is just so it keeps in place. I don't know if this lipstick, it's a higher end one, but I don't know if it feathers. And most lipsticks do, so it's best if it's a longer wearing one, which I don't know if this one is, to line. If it's something that you don't mind touching up, like there's a lot of products I don't line with, but it is what it is. So that again was Milani, and now I'm gonna try that new color that I got from Cargo, the Santa Fe, which is a little deeper than the Milani. And you can see I just did a light line, nothing serious. All right. Now this is actually a pretty shiny shade. It's a little darker than my normal color, but I'm actually really liking this. But then I'm gonna top it with this Sigma Beauty Tint lip gloss. This is so pretty. This is a little lighter shine. I do like a shiny lip. The thing I like about Sigma's glosses, besides their price point, is this brush. It's an actual brush. It's not a doe fit applicator. It's just this nice little brush. So you can be a little more precise and you know how much product you're putting in. So if you're just looking for a touch, like I like just a touch of gloss to give it this, like I said, shiny, kissable lip. This also, it's not sticky. It's a little wet right now, but always when you put a gloss on first, it's a little wet. So here's the overall look. So I went ahead, I have the lips, the eyes, the cheeks, you know, nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy, just enough that you can truly see that it's a little put together. Now, I'm not really digging the lashes, if you can see. They're not really voluminous. But again, maybe I could put on 5 or 6 more coats and that'll give me that look. But this is what I'm going with today. The only other thing to do is to set my makeup, because I always do when I wear it. And this is that All Nighter Spray by Urban Decay. Love it. You wait, if you're gonna do it before you do your mascara, wait till your mascara has dried. And then just a couple sprays. And also with this, if you're using this and your face gets cakey or you have dry patches, for dry patches, take your foundation brush, spray it, and then just go right over. So if I had said a dry patch here, I could just, and lightly, you don't want to smear it, just pat it. So that way the makeup that you have there doesn't move, but it'll break up that dryness and it'll moisturize it. But this will help your makeup last all day long. I've been using this now for almost 2 years and I've never had an issue with my makeup breaking up, and I barely touch up. I am dry, but it is what it is. So this is the look, ladies, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you really soon. Have a great day.